So we're here to really cover the next part of this track, the double-double. But before we get there, a few things to consider. You can see on the inside of the track here, there's sort of a half jump, a half roller to just make people think a little bit as they come into this corner. If you stay tight, you're probably going to have enough speed to get air off that jump. Whereas if you come a bit wider here, you'll miss that roller altogether. It's probably not a bad option to allow you to flow into this right-hander before you've got these two doubles up the hill. Tricky part about this right-hander at the moment, or not at the moment, just in general, is that it's actually off camber a little bit. It's really easy on a turn like this, it's off camber, to have your momentum run you wide, and because the track slopes away, it really does try and drag you down to that outside edge of the track. So it's important to set yourself up, pick your line, get your body in the right position, get some weight on that outside foot peg to try and hold the bike on line. As we come around, you can see how smooth this track is at the moment. This will be a section that will change a lot over the course of racing. The track will look nothing like this even just after practice tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see the lines form up and how riders are dealing with it. As we move further up here, you can see the up ramp further in the distance of the first one, these two doubles up the hill. So at a club level, guys, riders are going to look to set themselves up a little bit more so that they get these obstacles cleared and nail them, whereas the riders that will be racing tomorrow at a national level won't be so concerned about that. They'll be more worried about getting through the corner fast, and they'll just deal with these jumps as they basically get to them. You can see there's a little bit of size about these, but it will be important to clear these doubles up the hill to maintain momentum and keep your speed going. This is the end to this section, standing on the down ramp of the second double. And what gets technical here is how close this landing is to this corner. So tomorrow you'll see riders, while the track's smooth, if there's no big bumps formed up here just yet, they'll actually get their leg out and almost in the seated position in the air. So they might be landing with their leg out, ready to get to the inside of this turn. That might change as the day goes on. I'm sure some bumps and holes will form up here. We should also see quite a deep rut forming up on the inside of this turn. It's pretty tight, and the guys will be getting on the gas hard as they exit this corner. So good tight exit of this corner will allow you to get a good drive down the hill. We had a look at this yesterday. The track was still dead smooth, and if you have a look on the outside, there's been a few bikes out here, but basically the track's untouched. This big rut slash berm formed up pretty early in practice, and it's basically turned this corner into not totally one-lined, but there's definitely one quick way through here. So really slick and hard packed today. It's gone a lot harder than I think a lot of people were expecting. And as we move up a little bit, there is a couple of lines on the inside heading up towards the double, but majority of riders are coming into this corner. If they don't pick the rut up early, right back here, they come in around where I'm walking now and just drift wide until they run into the rut on the exit and use it to turn off. So you'll see a lot of riders actually have to follow each other through here. Generally, riders will look to be able to change lines and not follow each other, but sometimes you just have no way around it, and that's what this section's done. So you've got to be aware of that sometimes when you're racing. It makes it a little bit tricky to come through a pack, or if you get a bad start, it puts a lot more emphasis on that first 100 meters out of the start gates. That's where your race is really won or lost. So a section like this is a good example of one where you pick the faster line, you really have to stick with it, be consistent, and it's just the way the track's formed up, it limits your options a little bit. So to wrap up this step up section, guys, you can have a look up here. It's gone really hard packed. There hasn't even been a big rut form up on the inside here, which usually happens at this track. So put so much emphasis on making sure you get over both of these step up jumps, these doubles, get a clean landing into here so that you can pull the bike up and stick tight in this right hand turn. You don't really want to blow out wide if you can avoid it. Some riders are even resorting to coming up a little bit short on this second double just to help slow the bike down, wash a bit of speed off so they can get to the inside here. So sections like this, very one-lined at the start. Important that you get through that turn well so you can get over both of these doubles, and make sure then you link that with this next right-hander that hasn't formed a really good lineup. So it's all about linking sections together like this, guys, being consistent, and again, not an area where you can make a lot of time up, but one where you can lose a bunch.